We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup. I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is Sports by the Book on a Wednesday, the final Wednesday of month of June. I'm Jeff. She's Alex. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. Excited about another full hour. We've got baseball and another special guest here.
We got a great pitching matchup right out of the gate here today that you see behind us. Steve Cofield, of course, the host of Cofield and Company. He joins us at past the hour. Of course, ESPN Las Vegas. For our good friend Steve. You heard Alex on the show Monday and Tuesday this week. So looking forward to that. An array of topics for Cofield. Looking forward to talking to Steve at the bottom of the hour. All right, let's get to it. Let's get going, Alex. And we begin with the pitching matchup behind us. Day baseball in Milwaukee. And boy, what a matchup we get to wrap up this 3-game series. It's a rubber match. It is two of the best, it's arguably the best pitcher in baseball in Paul Skenes, and Jacob Misiorowski has burst onto the scene, and he's already thrown double-digit pitches over 101 miles an hour, carried a no-no deep into his start against Minnesota into the 7th inning on Friday night. And here you go, an elite matchup right out of the chute here, Alex. Skenes and Company are a small favorite. This has actually been a heavily bet game here to begin the day. Started at Pittsburgh minus 15 here at the South Point, even on Milwaukee.
I can't really blame people for that reason. Of course, as you mentioned, Paul Skenes, one of the best pitchers in the league. But if you're comparing the offensive numbers, I mean, it's been all Brewers. In the last 7 days, 357 average, 411 on-base percentage, and a 161 WRC+. So yes, Brewers definitely have the advantage there when it comes to the bats, but I don't think they're really going to be able to get to Skenes too much. I'm going to take a shot. I really like this one. I do trust Misiorowski. We've seen him twice now go pretty deep into these games. Of course, the first outing had a little ankle scare, but second game against Minnesota, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk. So I'm going first 5 under. First 5 under, 3.5 is the number, but I'm going to take a shot there.
So this is a 6.5 full game. It's now mostly 3 in the market, and now it's actually 3 across the board in the market.
Ooh.
How about -40, -35 on it under 3? I mean, neither of these pitchers have given you a reason to go against them, but you're giving me +15 on 3. Could have even seen a 2.5, could have even seen a 6 in this game. Roof closed. Was always in Milwaukee. So I'm just staying away from this. It's just these totals are too low. I think Milwaukee should be favored, but I'm not going to quibble with a 5-cent difference here with Pittsburgh, the smallest of favorites in this one here at the South Point. Going to San Diego next. Padres got a big win yesterday coming from behind against Washington. Manny Machado with the big blow to give San Diego a 4-3 win over the Nats. A rubber match of the series this afternoon at Petco. Good pitching matchup. Mackenzie Gore and Nick Pivetta. It's a good one here today. -45 on Pivetta, +30 on Gore. A total of 7.5, Alex. This is just one of those games where it's so interesting to me where I wish it was a little bit cheaper on San Diego. It would have been on the Padres. Or I'd go the other way. I wish we got another 15 cents on Washington and go on Gore. So that, I think, just tells me I should just stay away from this game.
It is pretty impressive. The Nationals have really stabilized the ship here, right? They had lost quite a few in a row and now have been very competitive in this series against the Padres. I'm going right like the first game. I'm going to that first 5 under. I got a 4 here between these two. You mentioned it, really good pitching matchup. Looking at their median numbers, it is 2 earned runs for both of them. But Pivetta, much better at home. We've talked about it all year long. Just a 2.93 ERA and a sub-1 whip for him. So I like this spot. I don't really think either offense is absolutely killing starters. Maybe getting some runs late against the bullpen. But I think we'll be okay here with a nice 4.
Don't mind that. Don't mind that here today, Alex. That would probably be the way I'd look as well. Again, the sides. Again, I wish it was 15 cents either way. It would be going with that here today. All right, we go to New York. Mets 1-10 in their last 11. 0-5 against Atlanta in the last week plus. The Braves will throw Fuentes in his second major league start here tonight against Clay Holmes and the Mets. Mets are -50. Total is 9, as we've talked about all week. The weather abnormally warm across the country, especially on the East Coast. Tonight in Queens, it's just brutal. 95 degrees with the wind blowing in, Alex. So that's something to keep in mind with a higher than normal total at Citi Field here tonight.
See, -150, if you didn't know about the struggles that the Mets have been going through, you would think that was a very cheap price here with Clay Holmes, who has been very good for the Mets this year. But with the struggles, I can't jump in there because I do think they should be closer to -185 at home. They kind of got to have this one, too. Probably going to see Grant Holmes tomorrow. So this is a game they need to take advantage of. A young pitcher. I really do think that their bats can get going. I just don't really want to pay that price.
Yeah, just don't lay $1.50 right now. And nothing going right for the Mets. And again, out of first place in the National League East. Philly last night blew an opportunity, got shut out in Houston. So again, this whole National League has really become insanely tight. Cubs struggling at the moment as well. Padres, just look at how tight everything is from 1, 2, 3 on the division leaders, the top 3 wild cards, and then from Arizona on up, and even Atlanta, again, a little bit of life within 6 games. Miami on down, they're all finished, but everybody else reasonably alive in the National League, entering July, barring some collapses over this last week of June. All right, speaking of the Cubs, we go to St. Louis. Cardinals-Cubs. Cardinals have taken the first 2 of this series off the Cubs. A 1-run victory yesterday. A little bit of a gaffe from PCA. helping the Cardinals to victory last night. And it is going to be hot and humid. Oh, God, it is so miserable in St. Louis here tonight. 90 degrees with 60% humidity at first pitch, and it's only going to get more humid as the game goes along. Cubs with Matthew Boyd are minus 50. Cardinals with Eric Fetty are plus 35. The total is 9. It has gotten tight. Seriously, it's gotten tight in all the divisions except for the NL West, where the Dodgers have picked up a little bit of ground on everyone behind them. But Milwaukee and St. Louis only 2.5 behind the Cubs, who have led this division by as much as in 8 games over both of those teams. So it's gotten tight in the NL Central over the last few weeks.
This is a tough one here. You're seeing that high 9, even with both of these pitchers. I think they both are very good with Boyd and Fetty. But, I mean, it's tough. You don't want to go under with that weather. We've seen a lot of runs the last 2 days, and, we've been on those over. So I'm just going to pass on this one, even though looking at Boyd, I mean, he's been phenomenal. He's given up 2 or fewer in every start since May 23rd, and Fetty has given up 3 or fewer since May 20th. So both pitching really well right now. I just have to stay off of this one because I'd like to bet an under, but I don't think that that's the right choice here with the weather.
Yeah, just with this weather is, again, across the country. In St. Louis, this might be the grossest of everywhere here today with the humidity and the high temperatures in Middle America. All right, we go to Colorado next. Dodger team total good, full game over good yesterday against the Rockies. Dodgers win by a deuce, so the run line even was there. This is a fun one. Dodgers are minus 330 today with Yamamoto on the bump. For whatever reason, our odds sheets has Jay Yamamoto on the bump, going back in the day for Jordan Yamamoto. Dollander will go for Colorado. Minus 330 on the Dodgers. How about that run line here? Laying 220 on a run and a half in this game. Total 11. Alex, I would just go back to I know I've said that Dollander is clearly the most talented guy that Colorado has. And the weather is not the most ideal hitter conditions tonight at Coors. It's going to be 73 degrees with the wind blowing in. So very reasonable temperatures for the end of June in Denver. This feels like another Dodger team total over here tonight. In elevation, you get innings against the Rocky bullpen. 7.5, if it happens to be that again, should be a 6.5 with an 11. But even if it's 7.5, I'd be comfortable here tonight.
Before the show, I was looking it up. I saw 6.5 here for the Dodgers.
Sounds good to me.
I think so as well. I mean, I think you can go Dodgers over 6.5. I think you could go Rockies under 3.5. So these two have already seen each other in an earlier series in April, but the Dodgers did not get to see Yamamoto, so I think he will pitch phenomenal here today against this Rockies lineup. So, yeah, either way you want to play it, but I definitely like the Dodgers team total. I do think that they will be able to get to Dollander. The gap size between these two pitchers and their rating is probably the second biggest, and we'll get to the largest gap here soon.
Oh, we'll get to the largest gap in a second. It's going to be a pretty darn large one in the next game. I'll just say this. We've obviously made fun of the Rockies this year, and when you're historically awful, I get it. I just wonder here where this is going to be the case all summer long, where the Rockies are insane underdogs, even at home against the high-end teams. And Colorado goes to Milwaukee this upcoming week. Houston comes to town. By the way, the White Sox-Rockies Bowl is 4th of July, so happy birthday, America, for that next weekend. But I just am wondering when will there be a flip here of, all right, we just got to start taking these prices on Colorado. But again, when you're dealing with a team that is 18-61 through 79 games, it's hard to take prices. You're just going to get smacked more times than not. So it'd be interesting to see. Also see if these prices get higher. Because, again, if it was not Dollander tonight, we'd be talking about Dodgers probably is a $4 road favorite in this one as well. So.
I mean, there's like a group of, I don't even know, 25 pitchers here that I am backing daily, from Chris Sale to Pivetta, Carlos Rodon, kind of looking at this where they are with 8 quality starts on the year and up. I'm not going to jump in on any time when the Rockies are playing those kind of pitchers, right? So Yamamoto definitely fits into that. But I think you're right. I mean, I think the 4 or 5 guys in some of these rotations, we could definitely get a pretty good juicy price, and they could be competitive.
Absolutely. Again, the Rockies, huge dogs here today at home. We go to San Francisco next. This is one Alex, we were talking about before the show. Logan Webb on the bump for the Giants against the Marlins here tonight at Oracle. Marlins actually got the victory yesterday, 4-2 to kick off that series. It's Cabrera and Webb. Webb's minus 220, total of 7 in this one. Alex, I know you were looking at that team total on the Miami side, but it's a paltry 2.5 going into this game.
2.5 for the Marlins here is the team total. I'm going to stay away from that. There's a couple other ways you can play this. Giants first 5, minus half a run, minus 125. I don't think that's bad at all. Or if you want to just take a shot with the run line here, plus 105. I know we always talk about not laying the run line with the home team, of course, because if they are up, they don't get that final at-bat in the 9th inning. But I think it's okay to take a shot here. Kind of surprised with how low this total is. I mean, I know it is in San Francisco, but still a 7. So that also makes me a little bit nervous about that 1.5. So I'm probably going to do the first 5, minus half a run there, minus 125.
That's a pretty good price, all things considered, right? I mean, especially when we're talking yesterday where there are all these minus 40s out there, first 5, minus 35s out there, minus 20, minus 25. I would be with you on that. I also, real quick, I would also look to a regular total under in that first 5 and 3.5 as well. Cabrera's got good stuff. It's just a matter of consistency for the young guys. So, and Webb, we know how much you and I both love Logan Webb, especially when you get an opportunity like this here tonight. All right, we go to Anaheim next. Angels stole the Crochet start last night in extra innings. The Angels are only white. I can't figure this darn Angel team out, Alex. I just can't, because their lineup, I think, is pretty salty. I think their lineup is a little bit undervalued still. Don't like their pitching at all.
No.
And here you are with the Angels still in the thick of things in this American League wildcard chase, because if you look at it right now, they're only 2.5 games behind the Seattle Mariners for that final wild card in the American League. They go for a sweep here today. It's Kikuchi and Fitz. Minus 25 on the Angels, 8.5 your total for this one at the Big A. Afternoon ball, rare weekday afternoon game in Anaheim here.
This is so tough. I would just flip a coin. I really don't know what to do here. I had the Red Sox yesterday with Crochet, did not get there. But you're right about this Angels team and the pitching staff, because Anderson, and then we have Kikuchi today, Soriano. They're either great or can get hit up. So not a lot of consistency there with them where you can really trust them to back them, but they're finding ways to win. So I think the 8.5 is correct. Lean to the over a little bit. Fitz has been giving up some runs. He's had a couple really bad starts, but especially at home, though. So he is better on the road, I will say, so far through 5 games. But I'm going to pass on this one. It's basically a coin flip.
I can't disagree with that, but it's, again, Angels going for the sweep.
Yeah.
There you go. There are your standings right now for the wild card. Again, compact race here. Again, Orioles starting to fall out of it again. But really everyone up until all the way down to Minnesota realistically still live here in this American League playoff race. We go to Baltimore next. Rangers beat the Orioles yesterday, and it got real dicey real quick. The Rangers carried a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and then all of a sudden we're behind in the 8th inning. Rangers win 6-5 in extras. It's DeGrom today for the Rangers. Young on the other side for Baltimore. Minus 50 on Texas. Total 8.5 at Camden Yards here tonight.
Definitely want to back Jacob deGrom here in this one, and the Rangers, especially after they put up 6 runs, because, I mean, after losing that first game 6-0 to the Orioles, I was a little nervous we weren't going to get any run support, but I think we'll be okay with the Rangers in this one. First 5, I believe, is minus 165. If you want to go run line, minus 115. I think that is the way I'm going to play this one. I really don't trust Brandon Young on the other side. 2 starts for him, gave up 3 earned runs in just 4 innings pitched. So I think the Rangers are going to be able to put at least a run or 2 on the board.
I kind of like this first 5 under. Like you said, 4.5 for, again, you're more likely than not getting 1 at most out of Baltimore. Just had to avoid the Texas onslaught, which has not happened much this year, as we talked about. So I'll just go full first 5 under at 4.5. That full game scares me because, again, we don't like Baltimore's bullpen. We don't like Baltimore's pitching, period. But Baltimore's bullpen scares me a little bit. But that would be the only way I'd look, would be that first 5 under. I'm surprised it's 4.5. I would have expected them to rein it into a 4 for this one. All right, we go to Detroit next. Boy, rough day to be an under yesterday in that game. Alex, we were both toast early. In that one. Tigers behind the worst start Scooble's had all year. 11-4 win yesterday against the A's. Today it's Flaherty, it's Lopez. Alex, there's not much to be had here. The only thing that's interesting from a betting perspective here in this game on my end, you can get 9s in the market on this total. There's 8, it's mostly 8.5, but there are 9s available. Tigers with Flaherty are minus 180 at home here today.
Yeah, I worry because we know that, Jack Flaherty is capable of throwing a really good game. He's just been so inconsistent. So maybe something's off with him, but I mean, his last 2 starts are really concerning. Went 4 2/3 against Cincinnati and then 2 1/3 against Tampa Bay. So before that, though, was pitching really, really well against the Cubs and the White Sox and the Giants. I just don't know which version of him we are going to get. And then on the other side with Jacob Lopez, did very good in AAA, but hasn't really found his stride yet in the big league. So not a guy I'm ready to back just yet.
Just a tough go here today. And by the way, Tigers, 10 straight overs. Our friend JR with these numbers, 10 straight overs for the Tigers. So just when you think Tigers, you think pitching first, right? No, it's been 10 straight totals over for Detroit. All right, let's go to Cleveland. Max Scherzer off the IL for the Blue Jays here today against Williams of the Guardians. It's a total of 8. Right now, Toronto a dog at plus 05, minus 20 on Cleveland in this one.
Ooh. What are we going to get from Max Scherzer here? We did see his last start March 29th. 3 innings pitched. This must have been spring training, huh?
No, it's his only start.
Okay.
He left with injury in that game and hasn't been seen since.
That it was the right thumb. So, yeah, but he did do some rehab outings, struck out 8 in 4 1/3. That was his second rehab outing with the AAA in Buffalo. So I don't really know. This was honestly another pass for me. I don't really trust the Guardians right now. And that lineup, we've talked about it, and we're really seeing it, especially in the last 7 days. On the other side, we've been backing Toronto and got there with their team total yesterday. So I'm just going to pass on this one. I think everything seems pretty right here number-wise.
I don't know how you can bet on anything with this game because you have no idea what Scherzer is going to give you. Again, Max, it's the same deal with Verlander at this point. They're not the same guys anymore. They're just not. They're going to be, the day they retire, 5 years from that date, they're going into Cooperstown. There's no argument. They're 2 of the 4 best pitchers from this generation, maybe even 2 of the best 2, depending on what you think of Clayton Kershaw. I'd argue Kershaw's better than both of them, but that's a different discussion for a different time. But they're not those guys anymore. And I don't love Williams either. I guess I'm kind of talking myself into an over, but it's Cleveland's offense. So tread carefully. Just there are better games on the board to play here, but be very careful with anything Scherzer related, unless if you're going to come under on strikeouts or total outs. That would be the only way I'd look at that one here today. All right, we go to Kansas City next. See, with the Royals just can't win at home. You just can't win at home. A complete flipperoni of what it was a year ago. Rays a 5-1 win, a very methodical Tampa performance yesterday in victory to get the win. Taj Bradley was great. Game 2 of this series tonight. It's Rasmussen and Waka. Rays minus 25, Royals plus 10. Total of 9 at Kauffman here tonight. Again, the weather, as we talked about, not quite St. Louis bad. Not quite. But it's still pretty darn bad. And the difference here is the wind is blowing out. So that's why you see a 9 in this game with these pitchers. I
really think this is another one that you could really just flip a coin. So I don't feel like I have any edge betting on either side. If you made me, I'd lean towards the Rays, not trusting Kansas City at home. But Michael Wacha and then Rasmussen on the other side, hit or miss with these two. So it depends on which one's going to show up and which one's going to have the best outing here. And I don't have any confidence in picking either side.
Yeah, I would only be a look to the over, but Kansas City's lost 6 out of 7 at home. Very strange. Again, we talked about it last year. Home road splits, huge advantage to being at home for Kansas City. Just has not happened this year. All right, we go to Minnesota next. Twins and the Mariners. It's Joe Ryan Day. The Twins have fallen on hard times. Hey, they only give up 6 yesterday. It's an improvement. They still lose. The Mariners with the 6-5 victory. Ryan and Kirby, again, we are still waiting for the real George Kirby to show up. 4 starts. The numbers are pretty darn ugly. I can't even say he was better his last time out. I know the Mariners won, but he still gave up 4 earned in 5 innings.
Yep.
We still have not seen, other than that start against the Angels, where Kirby was spectacular, we haven't really seen the old school George Kirby yet since coming off the IL. Ryan, he's been one of your favorites to bet this year, Alex, and he today is a small favorite at -125. Total's gone down a half run from 8 to 7.5.
And I really think you're getting a pretty cheap price here at -125 or around that, because I think that Joe Ryan and the Twins should be a bigger favorite, but you have to factor in the losing streak. They've lost 5 in a row now, and the Mariners winning streak. So factoring that in, that gets you right to this number. It's just a matter of if you want to play it or not. I was a little surprised Joe Ryan, just 7 quality starts. I actually thought he had more than that on the year. But, I mean, looking at his last 7 or 8, been very good. Only given up more than 3 runs once. But only really going 5 in the last 3 of his last 4 starts. So that does make me a little bit nervous. And the Mariners, their offense is hot right now. So I'm actually going to pass on Joe Ryan and company today.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And look, I get the market taking this game under from 8 to 7.5. The Twins pitching the last week has been an abomination, an absolute abomination. And there's only been of the last, dating back to June 17th, the Twins have played 1 game that's gone under. 1.
Wow.
That's it. That was a 4-2 game in Cincinnati on June 18th, a week ago. Since then, 17 runs, 23 runs, 9 runs, 17 runs, 13 runs, 11 runs. It has been brutal for Minnesota pitching. By the way, their best output pitching-wise has been 5 runs given up. I don't know what's happened to Minnesota. But again, that's a definition of an average team, below average team right now. After that big win streak, they're back to 5 games under 500.
I'm kind of with you then. I think the 7.5 is way too low, because I definitely think the Twins can put a couple up there, especially against George Kirby and where he is right now. So I don't hate that at all.
To the interleague slate today, we start in Chicago. Diamondbacks and the Chicago White Sox. D-backs going for the sweep at the Rate Field. Gallen and Burke, your pitching matchup. Total's 8, down from 8.5. Alex, this has been a wild mover from -135 all the way to -165. Now back to -150 on Arizona. I don't know what the hell the market's doing on this game. I would only be a play on Arizona. They've been undervalued this whole series, Alex. We talked about it yesterday. I mean, yesterday was a gift. Should have run the line, got there, full game, got there.
Yep.
It's only $1.25. It was bizarro. And I know Gallen has not pitched particularly well this year, but this is another cheapish price on Arizona against baseball's second worst team.
I agree. I bet you that backers were backing Sean Burke here, taking that plus price, thinking the White Sox could hang in there. But, I mean, really, Sean Burke is rated the same, if not lower, than Zach Gallen. And I know we haven't seen the best of him this year, but I still think you have the advantage in almost every facet of the game here with the Diamondbacks. I think they should be a $2 favorite here on the road. So I'm definitely going to lay the -150, take some of that run line once again here.
Yeah, I would do the same. That'd be the only way to do it. I just very confused by the way this series has been priced across the board. All right, we go to Cincinnati next. Max Fried's got to play the role of stopper for the Yankees here. Yankees, boy, yesterday, Rodon got gassed. Yankee bullpen blew up. Then the Yankees forget how to run the bases to get an extra innings. Reds win at 5-4 and 11, looking for the sweep. By the way, Cincinnati's still the only team that hasn't been swept this year. -210 on the Yankees, +185 on Cincinnati. Totals pivoted from 9 to 9.5. This is unplayable at these numbers, Alex. I would just stay away here more so than anything.
The Reds actually forgot how to run the bases too
Yeah, sure
in
did.
extras, and
Yeah.
we're pretty fortunate to get there in that 5-4 win. But did help Burns out, right? Because struck out 6 of the first 7 batters for him in his first major league start. Max Fried, Brady Singer. I don't know if I'm really a huge Brady Singer backer at this point in his career, but I am definitely a Max Fried backer. I think that this is a good spot for the Yankees. I know that's a big price. I'd probably have to go with the run line there at -130. But I mean, trying to avoid the sweep, like you said, add a little bit in, 20 cents. So I definitely like the Yankees today.
Last up in baseball here today, Yankees again looking to avoid that sweep. Philly, 1-0 losers last night to Houston. Now the ace goes, Zach Wheeler against Gordon of the Stros. Total's been bouncing from juiced over 7.5 to now juiced under 7.5. Philly -55, +40 on Houston. Would only be a look to Wheeler, but that price it's expensive on the road against one of the better teams in baseball, Alex.
I'll take it. I think this is a great spot for the Phillies. So we brought up a couple of the big differences with pitchers, Yamamoto, Dollander. The next one up, we had Cabrera versus Webb. This is actually the biggest difference here between Zach Wheeler and Gordon going. So I like the Phillies today, -180, and I like them on the run line as well. Especially, I mean, that was a great game, great pitcher duel yesterday, and that is kind of goes to show you, shouldn't always be scared of those 3.5s because it seems so low. Final score 1-0. Ranger Suarez and Framber Valdez both pitched outstanding. So if you have 2 really good pitchers on the mound going like that, you can get a good under in the first 5.
Yeah, Suarez was brilliant, but got the loss. The one run, the home run to Cooper Hummel, the only run in the game last night in a 1-0 Houston victory. All right, that's the baseball card here for today. Trivia questions going in the bottom, so be on the lookout for that. Nick and JR in the battle here in June. See who can take today's question, and it's a fun one from Vince. So looking forward to see who gets to the window first on that. When we get back, Steve Cofield, host of Cofield and Company, joins us next right here, Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
Football contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust, footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over 13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake. South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world. Our gaming amenities include over 60 table games and over 2,600 of the most popular slot and video poker machines. We have penny slots, including the popular Buffalo games, and real machines like Wheel of Fortune, Triple Sevens, and Megabucks. If you prefer video poker, try Deuces Wild, Double Double Bonus, or a variety of multi-denomination games. Or try your hand at one of the most popular casino table games in the world, Blackjack. Don't let the game intimidate you. Blackjack, also known as 21, is both easy and fun. And our dealers are always happy to assist. And the best part? Blackjack always pays 3 to 2. Next, check out the roulette tables. Roulette is one of the easiest casino games to learn, and so much fun to play. It's a favorite of both beginners and seasoned players. In addition to blackjack and roulette, our casino pit features over 60 popular table games like Baccarat, Pai Gow Poker, 3-Card Poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Mississippi Stud. So get out of your room and come join in the fun. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup. I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back in. It's Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Jeff Parles, Alex White. The trivia question is going to be in the bottom, so make sure you get your answers in. It's soccer related today, so good luck to everyone out there on the question here today. And now joining us, he's the host of Cofield and Company on ESPN 1100 and 100.9 FM here in Las Vegas. 3 to 6 weekdays, you hear him, and you heard Alex the last 2 days, and every Tuesday moving forward here on the show. Steve Cofield joins us right now. Cofield, good morning. Thanks for being with us today.
What's up, guy and lady?
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. And I gotta start it off, Steve. Naturally I got to start it off with NBA draft, and it feels like the biggest story because we know who's going 1. We know who's going 2. It seems to be leaning that Edgecombe's going to go number 3. The biggest story of this draft right now is where a Rutgers guy is going to go naturally, and Ace Bailey. And I'm just curious, Steve, just your thoughts on where he may end up and how his people have managed to really just wreck the pre-draft process for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much they wrecked it. And I also, it's weird with the NBA draft. I don't know that I have historical data on smoke screens. I kind of feel like this might be a little bit of a smoke screen. And if people like him enough, in spite of the fact that he didn't work out for him. Could he still go high? I don't think his fall is going to be as dramatic as people are predicting, but we'll see. He has questions as a player, and so does Dylan Harper, by the way. And a lot of these guys, if they played 1 year of college basketball, there's still a lot to be determined. I mean, in the case of Bailey, he's certainly a shell of what he's going to be physically. I mean, I think he's going to get bigger. But right now, he's a real skinny guy. He didn't really like playing a whole lot of defense except for swatting shots. Now, his upside offensively is crazy. He's legit 6'9" in sneakers, and he can shoot from deep. He's got a great pull up. He's obviously got to get a lot stronger. So the NBA draft has turned into much more of a prospect and long range draft than it was, say 20 years ago. But he's right up there with any of them in terms of upside.
Anybody that you were following throughout the NCAA tournament or through the college that you think will go a little bit higher than people are projecting? Or earlier, I guess.
Well, I don't know what all the mock drafts are saying about the guy I'm watching for is Milwaukee, because I'm really curious to see what the trend in the league is now. Because I think after last season, was it a couple years ago, with the Nuggets being the dominant team, I felt like the league was kind of changing back to a positive attitude on bigs. But now we just saw some teams compete who had more stretch bigs and not power bigs. So we'll see with Milwaukee. I mean, he's obviously a great prospect. God, I can't remember who said it yesterday. Oh, it was Kevin Willard was talking about Derek Queen and said if he was white and a European, he'd be a top 10 pick. And I don't know that there's bias in the league, but there's definitely, it seems like they lean more towards I don't want to go anti-American, but towards the prospects, almost like the mysterious prospects from around the world. And Malawak's got 1 year of college basketball in, but obviously he's a guy who played for South Sudan, so he's a super intriguing prospect. And again, how much does the league respect the true big? Do you need a true big? Moving forward, are the Nuggets going to be one of the best teams? Is stopping Joker the biggest deal, or are we just going to go back to stretch elements and the importance of having good wing players? Because we just saw some teams make runs with excellent wing players.
Well, and we've also seen again, Con Kniffel's numbers have really crashed in the betting markets. He's going to go in the top 5, and I think that's a good point there, Steve. Where we just saw Oklahoma City, even though Holmgren is a legit 7'2", he's not the traditional banger inside.
Right.
So, and Oklahoma City built around a guard who can score from everywhere. And Jalen Williams at his best in his finals was downhill towards the basket. So it'll be interesting to see. Just speaking NBA as a whole before we move on, obviously we've already seen Kevin Durant traded. We've seen 2 big Celtics trades with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis being shipped out of town. What are you looking forward to this offseason, especially where, man, the Eastern Conference looks like an abject mess going into next year with all the injuries that took place in the postseason and at the end of the regular season?
I mean, you led into that perfectly. I think it's who makes the move in the East if there's a difference-making move. And we're still waiting on Giannis. Is he 100% committed to the Bucks? Are they 100% committed to him? I think they have 7 free agents, so they've got to get the job done with a lot of those free agents. Do we have a determination on Lillard and how much he can play this coming year? So to me, it's Giannis. And if Giannis makes himself available, he demands a trade, then someone in the East has to be able to step up with the goods. Maybe that's why Miami held back a little bit in terms of trying to deal for Kevin Durant. Maybe that's what the Knicks are holding back for. I don't know that the Knicks have the goods to get Giannis, but he's a difference maker. I'll tell you this, if Giannis goes to the West, I mean, the West has been super strong over the years. I mean, that'd just be insane wherever he lands. I mean, what a difference maker. But, yeah, the East is crazy, and it looks like we'll see what happens with the Celtics. Maybe they're going to tear it down even more and, go down all the way to the studs here and be out of it for 3 or 4 years. I think the Knicks are a good team. I don't think they're a great team. Obviously, the Pacers are now going to be debilitated without Halliburton. I mean, hell, could we see the Orlando Magic in the NBA Finals next year? I'm sure Adam Silver would be real happy about that. That's sarcasm.
I'm going to switch it over to some football here. And we kind of talked about Aaron Rodgers yesterday on Cofield and Company. But besides the, soft announcement, this could be his last year, what are your expectations for him with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
So I may be one of the folks in the minority. I think it was a great signing. I think he's only going to get better this year. He had better moments in the second half with the Jets than the first half, in spite of all the upheaval, which he created some of it with the coaching staff. But I know overall some of his quarterback grades weren't great. But the guy did throw for nearly 3,800 yards and 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. And that is such an improvement on what the Steelers had last year at quarterback. So I think the Steelers are, I don't know about an easy over. I think they're an over. I think they can win 10 or 11 games. And I think part of the reason is I don't know that the Browns are going to be very good in the division. And I think the Bengals are in for a rough year. I don't like the vibe of any of this stuff with their defensive players, the rookie, Hendrickson. Clearly, there's already culture issues in that locker room with guys, spreading the word to Shamar Stewart that the organization is crap. I don't think their coach is a big-time head coach. I think he gets frayed pretty easily, and I don't think they'll be able to hold them together. So, long story short, in the division, I think the Steelers are going to move past the Bengals. They'll be better than the Browns. And Aaron Rodgers is playing for a real organization. I like the Jets. I'm a Jets fan, but it's a crap show every year, and last year was. And the Steelers are a pretty buttoned-up organization. I think Rodgers is going to respect that. I think he really respects Mike Tomlin. As long as he stays upright and makes that kind of next step on the Achilles recovery, I think they're going to be really good.
Just, Steve, I think you just made the point that I'm most concerned about. Forget all the other noise. We're talking about a guy who's over the age of 40 now who, the numbers looked okay, but he struggled to stay upright. He got hit a ton. There was the rumblings that he was not healthy at all last year after the injury that he suffered that somehow didn't get disclosed until 2 months later. But I just wonder, behind an offensive line that has had its issues over the last few years, can they keep Aaron Rodgers upright? That's the only concern I realistically have with him from a football sense.
I think health is a concern. I think my other worry is if you want to design an offense to change things up a little bit for Rodgers and get the ball out quicker, I'm not sure that Arthur Smith is the guy. I could also see the Steelers having some struggles at OC and moving Arthur Smith out if he can't get the job done for Aaron Rodgers and make sure that he's protected and that this offense hums, and maybe the quarterback coach moves up to OC. So there's some things to worry about, no doubt. And Rodgers there is a risk there. He is an older dude, and I'm not worried about. I should knock on wood. I said I wasn't worried about a calf injury turning into an Achilles last week for Halliburton, but not super worried about repeating that injury. But there's always a little bit of downside to Aaron Rodgers and with that Steeler organization.
So a little bit down on the Bengals this year. I definitely can't fault you for that with all the outside noise there and the vibe going on. Any team that you think will surprise this year, maybe sneak into the playoffs or make it farther than they did last year?
I'll go the other way first. For a team that I think will not get to their win total, I think the Patriots can be slightly better. I don't see all the excitement. First of all, is Mike Vrabel a great head coach? He had some good years at times in Tennessee. Does he make that much of a difference? Is Drake May ready to be, top half of the league quarterback? They're also dealing with the talent drain. That's probably not the right way to put it, but the lack of talent from Bill Belichick doing a horrific job in evaluating talent his last 3 or 4 years in the draft. And they went out on the free agent market. They had all this money. And, without Belichick as a draw and the winning as a draw, they weren't really a hot commodity on the free agent market. So I don't think they did real well free agency-wise. They wound up giving Stephon Diggs a lot of money. He's kind of a clown. We'll see what happens with his pink cocaine or whatever that stuff's called. What is it, Tusi? You guys know the stuff better than I do, the old guy. But I don't trust the Patriots to be a really good team at the 7.5. And I think the Raiders number is a little bit low. I think I'm generally not a Raiders homer, and doesn't mean I'm a homer because I'm saying they're going to go over. But I do think the Raiders are going to get better. I don't like what's happening right now with Christian Wilkins. I'd like a little more certainty on that interior of the defensive line, but I think the Raiders can put together a season. I don't think it's going to be 10 wins, but can they get to 8, maybe long shot 9? See, this is where I actually do believe that a coach changes things and that a culture changes things. I think everyone's going to buy in with Pete Carroll, unlike Mike Vrabel making a gigantic difference with still a talent void in New England.
I just want to follow up on the Raiders because last year going in, I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league because I thought they had the worst head coach in the NFL. Pierce only got surpassed by Ulbrich, who was not even a permanent guy anyway, as the season went along. But you just mentioned it. You have, even though I didn't love Pete Carroll's ending in Seattle, you have great coordinators now, Chip Kelly on the offensive side, and most importantly, Steve, and why I tend to agree with you that the Raiders could spike an 8 or an accidental 9. They have a quarterback you can actually trust, and even with all the issues that some may have with Geno Smith is a monstrous upgrade over what the Raiders have had over the last few years. Moving along, UNLV-wise, Steve, speaking of quarterbacks, we got a quarterback competition look likely ahead with UNLV. Of course, new era, Dan Mullen takes over. Barry Odom leaving to go to West Lafayette and Purdue. That's a different discussion for a different time. Steve, just what are your thoughts on the Rebs going into the year where it feels like Boise State's going to be down from what they were a year ago? So a Mountain West championship and a potential playoff berth seems a little more obtainable, even with how good the team looked going into last year.
So I feel like every year Boise is going to take a little step backwards, and they really don't. They obviously the year with Spencer Danielson taking over as the interim, they were down at the beginning of the year. I think Boise's still the team to beat. They don't have an Ashton Genty on the roster, but they still have a pretty good run game, and they brought in a guy I like in Malik Sherrod, who's also going to be good in the return game. The question there is their defense. The question with UNLV is, can they keep it rolling with the same formula? They turned over the roster to the tune of 50-plus players the 2 years under Barry Odom. They did the same thing with Dan Mullen. I think they have some excellent-looking guys, some excellent prospects, some guys who have played a lot at higher levels. A lot of it's going to come down to the quarterback play. I think Anthony Calandria will be the starter, but Calandria can be a high-risk guy. So you can get rewards out of that. There can be some negatives out of it. And obviously interceptions kill college football teams, high school football teams, NFL teams. So I like what UNLV has coming back. I think their defense is going to be good. That's where I think they have so much depth on their defense. I think it'll be pretty solid. And I think Paul Gunther is going to do a good job. But I don't think people should overlook the rest of the conference because I think Air Force will bounce back. I think San Jose is going to be at about the same level. Coach Ken is a really good coach. And I think some other programs that have been a little bit down are going to trend up. And I'm not saying that, Nevada and New Mexico all of a sudden are going to win, 8, 9 games, but I think they'll be better. I think the games will be tougher. CSU, same thing, Colorado State. So I think it's going to be a tougher conference. I'd like to say, to guarantee it'll be more balanced. I don't know if it'll end up in the win-loss results, but I think it's going to be tougher for the top teams to just get through and, post records with just 1 or 2 losses in conference.
Looking forward to football season already. You did a great job covering the groundbreaking on Monday morning with the A's. You've been talking about it the last few days. Overall, for all of our listeners, can you give us your overall take of what you saw Monday morning?
Well, I thought it was cool. I thought it was professional. Boy, oh boy, though, there's so many forces out there that really hate John Fisher, dislike him, don't trust him, that the news cycle right after, I was like, okay, maybe I didn't see what I saw. I think they did a professional job. I think they did a great job of, bringing a bunch of people out there, getting 700, 800 people out there, getting kids involved. Apparently that's a bad thing and it's a sneaky thing. And according to others, I believe the stadium's going to get done. I couldn't tell you John Fisher's financial situation, but I think once Vegas is in on this and, the area, the state, the county has put up $380 million. If they need to go around John Fisher and go to Rob Manfred and new ownership has to be brought in either with Fisher or Fisher goes bye-bye, then I think that's what's going to happen. So will the stadium be done by 2028? Boy, that one's a tough one because I think they're very late in the game here. They got to get it done in like 31 months. Do they have the money for cost overruns? But in general, I'm excited about it. I think we're going to have a baseball stadium here. I think it's going to be the A's. I don't know if John Fisher is going to be the primary owner, though.
Hoping that it does happen by 2028. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you and Griffin have just been putting out content daily, hourly. Tell everybody where they can follow you, social media, Cofield and Company.
I appreciate that. At ESPN Las Vegas and at Steve Cofield up on Twitter. Lots of videos with YouTube Shorts. So just search Cofield and Company on YouTube and
we're trying TikTok. We're having a little success here and there, but that's these are all new frontiers. We're trying to catch up. So check us out on TikTok as well at Cofield and Company. I appreciate the spot, guys.
Absolutely. It's great to have you again Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. As always, Cofield and Company, ESPN 1100 and 100.9 FM here in Las Vegas. Steve, pleasure. Thanks for hanging with us this morning.
See ya.
Steve Cofield, everybody. All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we get back, trivia answer, whiteboard, and the Bon Voyage here on a Wednesday morning, right here, Sports by the Book.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the Book. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup. I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Jeff Parles, Alex White. Big thanks to Cofield, Steve Cofield, for hopping on with us here today. All right, before we go here, the race for June in the trivia question. Of course, we'll get the whiteboard, don't worry. Here's the trivia question today, Alex. Which country's national football team, a.k.a. soccer, lost their second World Cup final in a row to the host nation on this date in 1978? So, this is the Dutch. The Netherlands is the correct answer. They lost the 74 final to West Germany and then flipped around 4 years later. I mean, it was really difficult. They had to go to Buenos Aires. Argentina was the host of the 78 World Cup. Argentina lifted the cup. And the Dutch, of course, got close again for soccer-wise, for the World Cup. Of course, World Cup is next year here in the U.S. and in Mexico and Canada. The Dutch is really one of the more tortured national teams. Have been to the final more times than any other nation without lifting the trophy. So they've been there thrice. They've never won. Of course, they had a real shot in South Africa in 2010 and came up short in extra time to Spain. It's Nick. Nick gets it done. Drew Dog, do you have the tabulation yet? I know you've been pushing it off because it's such a horrible task for you to do. But so Nick has a 1-game lead now after today.
On his birthday, too.
There you go. Happy
big
birthday,
win
Nick.
For him, yeah.
So there you go. 9-8 Nick, JR, and Nick. 3 more cracks. If Nick can win one of these next 3, we at least have a tie, which I don't know what our tiebreaker process will be, but we'll figure it out. So congrats to Nick for getting in there by a foot here today. All right, whiteboard time here on a Wednesday morning. And we will get Alex White's whiteboard here in a moment as the walls feel like they're about to cave in on us here downstairs.
Okay, here we go. So a little bit square. I do like some favorites going today, but I mean, if you've been listening to me the last couple of weeks, really backing the best pitchers in the spots, I think that they're going to pitch well. So first, though, I do like both pitchers going in the Washington and the Padres game. So I'm going first 5. Jeff is correct. That has moved from 4 to 3.5. I skipped the first game. I still do like it with the Pirates and Brewers first 5 under, but it has moved to 3. So under 3.5 here for me in that one. Dodgers team total, I'm doing it over 6.5 in Coors Field. I'm a little worried for Chase Dollander. I think he's going to get hit up today against this Dodgers offense. It's really starting to turn it on here. Logan Webb on the mound for the Giants. First 5, we're going half a run there, minus 125. Rangers, Jacob deGrom. I talked about it in his last start. 6 of his last 7 have been quality starts. He is just starting to really get into form. I'm back at him in the Rangers minus the run line here, minus 115. And then 2 road teams. I'm going Diamondbacks minus 1.5 at a plus price. And I'm going Phillies minus 1.5 at a plus price as well. I believe that is actually 110 for the Phillies, who are playing the Astros, who have been very good, kind of quietly just holding that first place in their division. But Phillies, I think they can get it done today with Zach Wheeler.
Here we go. Loaded board. 6-pack here today for Alex White on June the 25th. All right. That's what we got for you. We're back tomorrow. Baseball card. We'll see where we go tomorrow. React to the NBA draft as well when we're back tomorrow in 23 hours from now. Drew Dog, Ryan, Vince, Ann, and Jerry, thank you as always. She's Alex. I'm Jeff. Big thanks to Steve Cofield as well. We'll see you again tomorrow. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.